Welcome back to the medieval times, where homes were drafty, highways were dirt, everything smelled, and the winters would claim at least two of your cousins. This is Manor Lords, which is a completely gridless city builder with real-time strategy elements and large-scale battles. There are a few things I do want to show you though that will get your village up and running efficiently and hopefully better prepare it for the worst. Now let's get into it. I'm Alex, and maybe stick around if you happen to be one of the new ones here. Manor Lords' dynamic housing system is really flexible, and you can double the living capacity of each home you place with one simple trick. Here, for example, instead of plopping 3 basic homes that will hold 3 total families, you can cram 4 total families into a similar space. Just draw out a rectangle, but then slightly angle it until you see an extra plus symbol home appear next to each house. Then after you have those built, you'll be able to select this Expand Living Space upgrade, which allows 2 families to move into a single plot of land. You can also use that same angled rectangle concept with a larger open area behind it, so that you get this little hammer symbol behind each of their homes. That gives you an expandable backyard with 0 HOA restrictions, along with the benefit of double housing. That extra space lets you put in a vegetable, chicken, or goat farm behind each home. The yield of the vegetable farms actually scales to the size of the area you draw out, so it's best to put veggies on the big backyards, chickens and goats in the smaller backyards. In the early game, these backyard home expansions are a great way to get extra hides and some easy passive food. Wild herds can be a valuable resource, and these animals will actually migrate to different areas when humans interfere with their habitat. You can use this to your advantage by placing construction spots right in their zones, forcing them to migrate to a different location. I put down and destroyed a few buildings to get this group of deer to migrate to a lovely spot right next to my town. Totally safe here, I swear. Your hunters have to actually go out and physically hunt, so this can be pretty useful. At the hunting camp, you can adjust how many animals the hunters will keep alive, so make sure to have that set to where they can repopulate. Oh, and by the way, to get to that third-person viewpoint I was in, you hit this eyeball in the top right of the screen. That'll let you freely explore your own village as a floppy curtain. Some buildings can be relocated for free, indicated by this arrow symbol. After you move it and place it back down, the building will need to be completely reassembled by your villagers. The individual stalls at your marketplace can be relocated as well. That'll let you customize how your marketplace looks. Also, if you toggle over the resources provided by your market, it'll highlight the area of influence on nearby homes. If they live too far away, the villagers won't be satisfied by what the market provides. To start squeezing taxes out of your citizens, you'll need to put down a manor. But before doing so, make sure to check these overlays to set aside a large open area that won't be covering up any fertile land. Once you pick a spot and get it built, you'll be able to set a land tax. That'll eventually start giving you some money, but the higher the value, the grumpier your villagers will be, and they might even move out. You can also get some of the influence resource by setting aside extra food for the church. The reason why you needed a large open area for this is because the manor functions as a build-off point to create your own custom castle. Just don't build it over a swamp. When placing roads, don't get too clicky with the anchor points, because roads will automatically bend and flex around structures you drag them past. This makes it easier to perfectly wrap roads around buildings in a realistic and natural looking way, without wasting as much space. One of the best ways to start making money early on is by building a trading post. Go to the Trade tab and find a resource that you have an abundance of, like planks, and set those as an export. You will need to open the trade route first though, which is the horse and carriage button on the far right of that screen. Also, it costs some money. The trader will then lug those excess resources off to somewhere and come back with some sweet cash. In your village's beginning years, it can be difficult and costly to equip your villagers with weapons to fight. If you ever need to beef up your army quickly or in an emergency, you can click Create New Units in the Army tab and then hit Hire Mercenaries. Hiring these troops will pull funds out of your personal treasury, which is separate from your normal regional wealth. I hired this group of mercenaries to help me clear out some nearby bandits, which were stealing some of my town's resources. Watch out though, those mercenaries will continually drain your treasury to renew the contract you signed with them, so disband them when you're done with their services. If you press tab, you can bring up this overlay, which shows all kinds of useful information, like resources, buildings, and who's using them. If you're playing on Xbox, the button to do this is... Hold on a sec, I had to look this up. What are we calling this now? The View button. Can we please stop renaming this poor, mistreated button? Another shortcut on PC is Control-C, which will put you into cinematic view. This disables the HUD and makes the camera movements smoother and more cinematic. Being able to totally pause the game isn't just there so you can go grab some Ritz and milk. You can actually modify some things in your town while paused. Use this to construct roads without the passage of time, or set up your housing blueprints without any stress. When your fields are in the growing phase, all they need is time, so you can move your villagers off the farmhouses and assign them elsewhere during that time. Just make sure when the fall season rolls around to reassign them to the farmhouse so they can get out there and harvest before winter hits. Alright, the video says 10 things, so here's number 10, the least useful one. If trees have grown in the way of your beautiful city, you can quickly remove them by placing structures, like the completely free and beautiful corpse pit. You can demolish that right after you put it down, and there you go, trees gone. Okay, those were just a few things that might help you in Manor Lords. Good luck. Hypothetical question, if you existed in these times, what occupation would you currently be doing? I'm guessing I would be not the rock extractor, but the guy who lugs rocks back into town. Manor Lords is on Xbox, Steam, Epic, and GOG in early access, since it does still need to implement some of its core systems. If you're not into the RTS combat thing and just want to play this as a pure city builder though, you can make it that way before starting a campaign, or the opposite, skew it more towards all-out warfare. But if you have any other questions about the game, feel free to hit me up right here at Boomstick Alex, or just shoot them down in the comments. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching and for sticking around. I'll see you next time.